Welcome to the Raw Vegan Guru channel, where we are raising our health consciousness, one thought at a time, one action at a time, one present moment at a time. So, in today's video, I thought that I would discuss being here in a northern climate where, as you can see, it is a winter wonderland. And it's not the North Pole. Um, I wish it was because I'd be hanging with Santa. Uh, for sure. I mean, he seems like a jolly guy. Too many cookies, that's for sure. But I think we could turn that around. And Rudolph, I'm down with that one. He's a good dude. So, what I thought I'd talk about today is what does a raw vegan do in the winter? Now, this is a question that I had when I first started my raw vegan journey. Because I was transitioning from a vegan lifestyle, and those answers were much easier because at the time, learning lessons made, I was eating more cooked foods. So during the winter, I was enjoying chilies and beans and soy products and tofu and veggie dogs and burgers and pastas and all of these elements of that hearty kind of psychologically speaking, stick to your ribs, keep you warm and strong type of foods. Um, and then, of course, the more I learned about the disaster of cooking foods and the raw vegan healing possibilities, I started to shift into the seasonal lifestyle awareness. And during the summer, it's easy to be the raw vegan, really, because you're going to the farmer's market, you're growing things yourself. Maybe you have friends who are growing things, so you're picking the greens. I mean, high potent electricity in the moment. You've got the berries rolling, you've got the fruit trees dropping, and everything is very easily more abundant. But in the winter, just as we follow the cycles and observe nature, the squirrels and the chipmunks and the birds, they're looking for their, stockpiling foods, their nuts and other elements in nature that they're utilizing. They're not using it in a high abundance source. They are definitely slowing down the pace of their intake and what they're doing. And they, thought ahead and stored some, for the rainy day, which could be any given moment during the winter season, with freezing temperatures and blizzards and snow, etc. So, how do I go about the winter as a raw vegan? Well, let me just go through kind of the routine that I try to follow that seems to start presenting itself in a organic, natural process in the fall. So I ride the summer past the summer. I'm wearing shorts until sometimes that first snow. So I'm holding on. I'm not letting go. And I'm still living that dream, and there's still a tail end of those crops are coming in, and I'm going to the farmers market, the local farms, and I'm getting these things that I'm not facing yet as the end into a new cycle. So in the winter, first thing I'm going to say as a high fruit uh, eater or user, um, is the citrus. So I'm riding lemons all year long. That is my go-to. I'm having my lemon water, my lime water daily. And in the winter, I really take it up a notch. Sometimes I'll add some hot water and maybe slices of ginger. So I really always enjoy the honey, and it's giving you your major boost, antioxidant, vitamin C. It's really strengthening the immune system. So with the lemons, you really want to help keep that kidney functioning properly and detoxifying and helping the lymphatic system along, which citrus is so healing and helpful in doing. So I always have that base and foundation of the lemons, no matter what's going on in the lemons. Also, during the winter, I definitely utilize a lot more of the herbal teas. And as herbs are medicine, I focus on different aspects of what I'm really trying to concentrate on, whether it's detoxifying my liver, um, or it's opening up the airways in my lungs, or it's strengthening my immune system with like an echinacea tea, or again, sustained detoxification, my dandelion tea. So you can play around with that and what your focus is to really help move along and have that cellular intelligence and communication happen between the herbs and the different parts of your body function and organs. So when it comes to eating, and where am I getting my foods? So unfortunately, a lot of the fruits and the vegetables that I'm going to be having during the winter, I'm going to be getting at places like the health food store, or possibly the local supermarket. Of course, everything being organic. These things are picked, they're trucked, they're shipped. There's distance, there's time. So every second, you're losing that vital power structure, and it's starting to degrade, and you're having less and less and less. And sometimes I feel like by the time it really gets to me, I'm just going to be taking in some minerals and fiber in the action of whatever this fruit or vegetable is. Um, but there are tricks to the trade. As I mentioned, the citrus, all the different types of oranges, the grapefruits, the tangelos. There's just so many different types of citrus. So you can really sustain yourself on that altogether if you want all winter. Sometimes you can luck out still, coming past the fall into the winter with some grapes. That can go on. Apples also can be a little more long-term storage in the fridge, I have found, where they can last a lot longer than if they were kept out. I don't really deal with melons or papayas or anything at the supermarket during the winter because they're just tasteless. And I gather, yes, they have organic water, but I just don't feel connected to them like they're really bringing anything to me. I wait for those to be more in season and local. Um, a lot more smoothies and shakes during the winter. Also, another trick of the trade I've used is I will buy up local fruits in the summer, and right before the fall, when I know it's coming to the end of the harvest, I will freeze those and then use those and sustain that through the winter in my smoothies. Bananas are always a pretty good staple year round, as they do grow in the southern hemisphere, and they're much more abundant to be able to purchase and get to, hopefully. Where you're located. So a lot of smoothies, and I always have that base of the banana, and then I'm going to bring in dried dates are great to have stored for winter fuel. And the berries, the blueberries in the freezer, the strawberries, the raspberries. I'll also freeze pineapple during the summer and keep that in the freezer. So I try to freeze my own fruits for the smoothie action in the winter because I know you can buy the frozen fruits, and sometimes that's the only thing people have. I just find them to be sometimes just freezer burned and a little tasteless. And I like to do things myself when I can. So a lot of the liquids, the drinks, the green juicing, buying those vegetables and making my own green juices, bringing in the fresh turmeric and the fresh ginger, um, and whatever I really can utilize to sustain the importance of optimal nutrition and herbal healings. Then I also do a lot of salads in the winter because I still can get those sprouts, huge one. Avocados can still be going on. And those hardier greens, the collard greens, the Swiss chards, and the kales. So I'll still incorporate the salads. Now, when it comes to sometimes, you have those wintry cold, frigid days, and you're inside, and you're reading a book and you feel like something a little warm, there's nothing wrong with doing that warm heated dish. Perhaps some beans. I don't promote the protein intake, but if you're doing raw foods all the time and then you have an exception of once in a while you do some beans or maybe some wild long grain rice or something, you know, go for it. Connect with, what you can be satisfied with. If you keep to a strong regimen, you're just going to deprive yourself and be imbalanced in some shape or form. So do something once in a while. It's a treat. I do that a few times a year, and it's a big party. Not always in my belly, I'll tell you that. On the outcome, I'm like, why? But we always do that with foods, it seems. Where are the lessons learned? Love the chocolate, but it has to be at a dose. If I did like a dark chocolate, of course, but a dark chocolate bar, woo-wee, memories, chocolate deep thoughts. I could have a whole series of chocolate diaries, what has turned me inside and out. But I have a passion and love for it. Sometimes, just a little bit for me personally. Squash, that is a great cooked element to incorporate during the winter. I'll definitely get some pumpkins and store those in the cupboard, and they can last. I've had them last, believe it or not, sometimes nearly 2 months. By the grace of God, I guess, and they still worked out fine. Spaghetti squash, pumpkin, acorn squash, butternut squash, also potatoes. Can't go wrong with so many alterations and imagination that can be used toward the potato soup, or um, you know, baked potato. A lot of different things. I like to bring the potato in with my vegetable dish, sometimes my raw vegetables. So this, I think, is a good foundation and base to an approach of being a raw vegan and the winter and what to do. I also must mention that during the winter, it's a lot more inner work. Inner work's all the time. It's, year round. I mean, how could it end when you're seeking? But during the winter, it seems to be exemplified because it's always going within, always taking those moments out of it all. A lot of reading, a lot of meditation, and a lot of right here and now, just being with myself and listening and in tune and in harmony with nature, outside, breathing that crisp, cold, beautiful, fresh air. So that is my approach to the winter. Simplicity and a lot of fasting too, where I just take that step back from everything I'm doing and I really listen to myself, and I go within, always searching. And you know what? Always finding things out. Like what I thought yesterday was the scene. I'm so naive. I wake up today and the downloads are, unfolding and bombarding me in the best of ways. It's like a warm water balloon over the head. And I realize, whoa, I don't know anything yet, but I'm finding out all the time. But I do have some understandings and basics, like be good to others, be selfless, um, show gratitude and love, thank higher source for who you are and everything you have in your life. Those things might alter in how much I see that in my daily process, but that's a foundation. That's always going to be there. Right now, the sun being so energized and focused on what's ahead and what needs to be overcome that only we know about ourselves. So that's, I think, a good little summary of winter as a raw vegan, or maybe just for this raw vegan. If you like my videos, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, maybe a thumbs down if that's how you feel, and share because I really am trying to help people question everything and be able to tap into that health consciousness, that ability to say, I know that I have the power to change everything in my life and to feel groovy. So thank you so much for being here today with me. I always appreciate it. And any questions or anything you would like to say, comments about this video, leave them below. I'll get back to you on it. Thank you. Love you. Bye.